Hi, this is a new topic, data interpretation and logic, as you can see on your screen. I hope to finish this in one video, but it might drag on to the second one. So let's begin. So we got a pie chart in front of us, and the question is approximately what percent of the total investment is gold? So gold is purple, and that is 10 lakhs. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now the total investment is 10 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 1 lakh, and 30,000. So that's 16 lakhs, 30,000. Okay. So make sure you got your numbers right. Okay. And that's it. And we got our answer out here. So 4 zeros go, 2 out here, and 2 out here goes. So we have 10,000 upon 163. Now, if I were to approximate my answer, then in that case, I will kind of say this is 10,000 over 160 just to simplify my calculation. So that's 1 0 and 0 goes. So I've got 1000 over 16. Yeah. Fortunately, the numbers that we have in the answer options, they're not very close to each other. So we might be able to get to some approximate answer. 24, 4 twos are 8. 62.5%. So the approximate answer therefore would be 61%. Okay, B is the answer. Moving on. Another pie chart. Physics represents approximately how many degrees in the pie chart below? Okay. So we have physics as 79 upon you take the total marks out here. Yeah. So that is 79, 41, which is 120. Yeah. We have 83 and 67, which is 150. So 270 is the total. Now, usually for percentage, we write 100 and then percent, but they're not asking percentage, they're asking degrees. So you do into 360 degrees. Got it? Yeah. So this fraction into 360 gives us the degree for the physics. Okay. So again, they're using the word approximately. So we'll approximate our answer. So we can approximate 79 as 80. Yeah. Look at the answer choices. They are close to each other. Yeah. But nevertheless, we'll try and approximate it. So this is 0, 0 goes, 9 fours are, 9 threes are. Yeah. And then we have 3 twos are 6, 20. Correct? 3 6 are 18. Yeah. But if it was 81, let's say, or 78, let's go 78. Yeah. Let's go 78. Okay. If it was 78, so let's say this was 78 over 270 into 360. 0 0 goes, 9 fours are, 9 threes are, 3 twos are 6. Yeah. And 1, 3 6 are 18. So 26 times 4. Yeah. So we know 25 times 4 is 100. So 26 times 4 is how much? 24 the 18. And 6 4 the 24. 104. So we took a smaller number. Instead of 79, we took 78. So we know the answer would be slightly greater than 104. Therefore, A is my answer. Okay. Before I go on to the next question, usually the diagrams in data interpretation are drawn to scale. So if I were to expand this and make it 90 degrees, correct? Yeah. Then I know that this much represents around 10 to 15 degrees, and that way I can quickly get to an answer if you're short on time. So 90 plus 10 is 100, or 90 plus 15 is 105. Yeah. Okay. 90 plus 20 is 110 degrees also. So in case of where the answer options are close, I would probably double check by calculating it. But if you're short on time, then you're stuck with these two at the most. Anyway, Rima completed the competition in 2 hours and 40 minutes. How much time did she take to swim? Okay. Given she spent an hour on cycling and she ran at 10 kilometers per hour. So total is 2 hours and 40 minutes. And she took an hour on cycling. So we already have now minus 1 hour. So we have 1 hour and 40 minutes to calculate. Okay. She ran at 10 kilometers per hour. So the cycling part is out. Okay. She ran at 10 kilometers per hour. So running according to this table is 10 kilometers in the competition. And she ran at 10 kilometers per hour. So basically, it took her 1 hour. Yeah. So now we know that the swimming part is 40 minutes. How much time did she take to swim? 40 minutes. Now, these are all given in hours. 40 minutes is what fraction of an hour? So divide by 60, and we know it's 2/3 of an hour, right? Correct. And you can double check, right? 2/3 of 60, 2/3 hour. If you want to convert it into minutes, you multiply by 60 and you got 40 minutes. So B is the answer. Question 4. Tony traveled by Kawasaki on Monday, Suzuki on Tuesday, and Yamaha on Wednesday. If each day he traveled for an hour, so each day he traveled for an hour, okay. What is the total distance he traveled on all 3 days combined? The table gives us the speed 200 kilometers per hour, and he traveled for an hour. So the distance traveled is 200 out here. This is also 205 kilometers per hour. So if he traveled for an hour, it's 205, and so is 198. So we simply add them all up. So we know 200 and 205 is 405, 198, 13, 10, and 603. D is the answer. Right. So one can make many silly errors. So do not take these questions lightly. Make sure you check the wording carefully. That's my advice. Make sure you check the wording carefully, and make sure you use the table or the graph given to you as well, so that you don't miss out on any information. Sabha took same amount of time to travel on all 4 days. What was her average speed over the entire journey? Assume no halts taken, given Sabha traveled for 2 hours each day. So here 2 hours, yeah. Here 2 hours, 2 hours, yeah. And this is a mistake, Honda. I don't know what this is. 4 days, now. So it should be Thursday out here. All right. So, okay, never mind that Honda thing. So we know that the average speed that they're asking is equal to total distance, yeah, over total time. So total distance and total time. So Sabha traveled for 2 hours each day. So the total time is 8 hours. Our total distance we have to calculate. So we know that um, from here, she traveled 200 kilometers, then 204, yeah, then 198 out here, and then 201 out here. Okay. So if we add them up, so I think based on the previous question, this is 604. Yeah. No, 404. So we just write it down. So that is 803 is the total distance. And again, they are using the word round your answer to the nearest integer. Yeah. Right. Sorry, this is 205. So it's at 804 upon 8. So that's 100.5 kilometers per hour. So the nearest integer is B. Okay. So yeah, I made a mistake out here. See, I did not check it carefully. This is 204 and the middle one is 205. So make sure, double check your work. Yeah. Honda. Okay. Anyway, moving on to the next question. 6. Don's monthly expenses are given in the chart below. He wants to buy a car that would cost him 10 lakh rupees on road. The down payment on the car is 2 lakhs and the loan shall cover the rest. All right. His monthly installment on the loan amount is 40,000 rupees. So that's his EMI, 40,000 rupees. He decides to pay the down payment by liquidating his mutual funds. There are no mutual funds out here. See, nothing he's liquidating. He's probably liquidating something extra he's got. For the monthly installment, he wants to pay by reducing his savings by 50%. So to pay this monthly installment, he wants to reduce his savings by 50%. His savings is 40,000. And remember, these are the monthly expenses given in the chart below. So these are the monthly expenses. So monthly, he saves 40,000, but he wants to, for the monthly installment, he wants to pay by reducing his savings by 50%. So 50% savings becomes 20,000. So from 40,000, 20,000 he pays from his savings. So balance 20,000 remains. And the remaining by renting a property which is less expensive than what it is now. So right now he's renting 50K, 50,000. So he wants to pay the balance by going for a less expensive property to rent out, by renting a property which is less expensive. He needs to reduce his budget for the house rent by what percent in order to cover the monthly installment. So now that balance 20,000 needs to come out from the 50,000 rent. So he's reducing it by 20,000. 20,000 upon 50,000 into 100%. So that's he needs to reduce his budget by 20,000. So 20,000 is what percent of 50,000? That's 40,000, 40%. Yeah, 40%. So my answer will be 40% for this one, B. Okay. Right. So this was a very complicated question. Yeah. So read them carefully, understand it, don't be in a rush. 7th one. Chart below shows the result of a small town mayoral election a candidate wins if he gets 50% votes in his favor of all the votes. If candidate C wants to win, then by what percent should his votes increase? So very basic question. There's 40K, 50K, 10K, 20K. So 90, 100, 120K. So 120,000 total voters are there. Now, if he wants to win, then he needs to secure 50%. 50% was that 60,000, half of it. Now, candidate C wants to win, then by what percent should his votes increase? So now we know that he is at 10K and we need to reach 60K. So the difference is 50K, 50,000. Correct. And so his votes, the percent, by what percent should his votes increase? So to find out 50,000 is what percent of 10,000. So that we know is 500%. So therefore, if he wants to win, then the percentage votes should increase by 500%. And therefore, C is the answer. So make sure you don't goof up the numerator and denominator. Very important. That's where most of the students make a mistake. 8th question. Okay, now these are typical questions, logic based. Raman has 5 sisters. So let me draw a diagram, a white space, sorry. Okay, question 8. Raman has 5 sisters. So make sure from the point 1, from the first second itself, you're drawing it neatly. Yeah. And an elder brother. So we put E for the elder brother. Okay. The brother's wife is the brother's wife. So now we put a wife, W. The brother's wife is sister of Raman's eldest sister. So S1 we consider as the eldest sister. Okay. The brother's wife is sister of Raman's eldest sister's husband. So they're the husband out here. And there's a wife out here. So these two are sister and brother. So siblings. So sister, brother. Okay. Okay. Brother's wife. The brother's wife is sister of Raman's eldest sister's husband. Okay. The husband is uncle to Raman's youngest sister. The husband is uncle to Raman's youngest sister's husband. The husband. So this relationship out here is uncle nephew. Okay. Yeah. And also we know that yeah, whatever. Okay. So the husband is uncle to Raman's youngest sister's husband. Okay. So that part we know now. So how is Raman's eldest sister, that is S1, related to the husband of Raman's youngest sister? So S5, husband of S5. So how are these two people related? Right. So we know that one relationship is sister-in-law. So the cousin sister is out. And the other relationship is because S1's husband is this fellow's uncle, then S1 becomes aunt of this fellow. Therefore, B is a contender. Daughter-in-law is out and mother-in-law is out because there is no picture of their children being discussed out here. So daughter-in-law, sister, mother-in-law is out. The answer would have been sister-in-law or aunt. Aunt is given. Okay, complicated question again. Ninth question. Singh has two daughters. No, has a daughter. So has a daughter who's the cousin sister of his brother's son. So Singh's brother, his son, and this daughter, cousin, sister, and brother, cousins. Okay. This cousin sister, so that is the daughter, is the cousin sister. Yeah. Has two daughters, D1, D2, let's call it. So Singh is the grandfather, okay, on the mother's side. That is, okay. How is Singh's brother, that is this B fellow, related to the daughters of the cousin sister? So how are D1, D2 related to B? So clearly, if Singh is the grandfather, then that guy will be uncle, right? So grand uncle, no brainer. Okay. Grandfather is Singh out. Uncle, yes, but there's an option grand uncle also. So this goes out. And cousin brothers out. So D is the answer. Okay. 10th one. A 5 centimeter solid cube. A 5 centimeter solid cube. Okay. Is cut into half along the diagonal of one of its surfaces. This one half of the cube is painted blue on all its surfaces. So it is painted blue, this one half on all its surfaces. Find the number of surfaces painted blue. So some imagination is required. Now imagine this is the one half of the cube. So I already have this surface and the surface similar to this on the other side of the triangular side. Then you have the triangle and the one at the bottom which is not showing up. And when we cut it, we have this one also. So two for this one, two for this one, up and down, and this one is left and right, which is not shown. And out here, the down part is not shown. And this is the only surface which is exposed after cutting. So therefore, 5 is the answer. 5 surfaces are painted blue. How many questions? Just last question now. If a square piece of paper is folded into half 4 times over as shown below, then when it is unfolded, which of the following crease shall be formed on the paper? So there is one technique out here or some property out here that usually if you see when there is one fold happening, then there are two things that you see. So 2 to the power 1. Okay. When it is folded half and then half again, that is twice. So once you fold, there are two spaces. Twice you fold, then you will end up getting 4 spaces because after you fold this one like that, yeah. So once it is already folded, correct, and then you fold it the second time, and then when you open it up, you'll see something like this. So this is when you open it out here. This is when you fold it once. Okay, this is when you fold it once. That is when you close this part and this part, and then you open it up, then there is two spaces. And so when you fold it the third time, that is thrice, you get 2 cube 8 spaces, something like this. Yeah, I think. Yeah. And when you fold it 4 times, you obviously end up getting 2 raised to 4, 16. And therefore C is the answer. Okay. So if you have rough paper, use that. Otherwise, don't. It's a computer-based test, obviously. They will give you rough sheet, so you can use the rough sheet, right? You can fold it. But if that is not allowed, then use your imagination. But use this technique also. Yeah. So I am going to put a link in the video description for uh, data interpretation and logic quiz, which will have 10 questions, yeah, for you to solve. And you probably like them because they are okay-ish, not very difficult, not very easy, but it'll give you a good practice. Okay. Well, that's it. Then I think we are done with this topic as well. And I think percentage was also covered with data interpretation out here. So the only topic which I might consider is ratios. Yeah, and I've already discussed mixtures with you with allegation part, but ratios out here with percentage involved. So I'll only consider this topic after I've discussed the June 2025 paper. So my next my next videos will be on the June 2025 paper net. Yeah, and maybe after that I'll decide if I want to include ratios or any other new topic, right? So till then, consider part A to be the review of part A topics to be completed. Thank you very much.